What's up guys, today we're going to be playing Meme C, and I'm not gonna lie, I did play this on my main and I loved it a lot. So I decided to make a playthrough out of this game, and I'm just not going to be showing you, I'm not going to be spending any Robux or doing anything to support this account in any way, and so that y'all can understand that I'm not going to be buffing myself in any way, so that y'all can do exactly what I do in these playthroughs, so that you could be as good as me or as this account. Anyway, let's get started. Start out with $100, 0 gems, and there is leaderboards right here. There's a Floppa Gacha and a Doge Gacha. The difference is that the Floppa Gacha and the Doge Gacha, the Doge Gacha spins gems, while the Floppa Gacha spins money. And gems are not that hard to get in this game, at least not to me, because all you have to do is defeat a boss like the Big Floppa, or there's another boss on this island right here called the Walter Dog. And this is pretty much like a One Piece bandit beater, but it's filled with brain rot. But to be honest, the combat system and the powers that you get are really fluent in my opinion. So let's just get like a free power, and it's pretty easy to get one. So the first one that you can get that is really easy is to do this quest where you click the lava floppa 1,000 times. I'll jump cut to whenever I do it. Alright, now that we're coming back and we're finishing that quest, now we have our first weapon. Go to inventory weapon. This is an exclusive because, well, it's a quest version. And there is another one just like this for the chims, because those are the two sides, the floppa and the chims. And there is one, but it's a lot harder to get because you have to click on this popcat 10,000 times instead of only 1,000 times for floppa. And that's why I wanted y'all to get that one first, and it's literally the only two that are free weapons in the game. Anyway, let's get this started with mindless, endless grinding. However, it is a lot easier than a lot of other One Piece bandit beaters. Like, I'm getting levels very quickly, and didn't even do the quest. Like, these are fast levels. This is a pretty easy game to get the max level with. I did it in a day in my main account. So I'll see y'all whenever I show y'all how to get something else, or I finish out this quest. Oh, before I do that, let me show y'all the showcase of the Floppa weapon. So this is X move. Yeah, very powerful. That's why Floppa is literally the best for beginners. And this is the Z move. Just kind of like other weapons that you'll see later on in other playthroughs. And yeah, I'll just jump cut to whenever I finish off this quest. Now that we have a good amount of money, I should show you what weapons you can buy in the first island, which is what I'm going to be covering in today's video, all of the first island. Over here, I buy the quest for the Big Floppa. You're gonna see these two cats right here, and there's an invisible door that you can go through, and then there's this hanger, which is one of the cheapest weapons you can get in the game, 25,000. Purchase this. It does suck. The only really combat move you have with it is the spinning hanger, and doesn't even do that much damage, which is why I'd really recommend you using the Floppa until you have a good legendary or epic weapon. And another weapon there is the flaming katana, which you can buy from over here where the last boss of the island is. Come over to this house, and it's Cheems. You talk to him, and he wants 1 Cheems cola and 50,000 for the flame katana. You can get a Cheems cola from defeating this boss over here. Alright, last time doing this quest, once this cooldown runs, and... Alright, now that we are level 50, we should have a new quest area to go to, and if you click on this little compass, it'll tell you where to, and like what level requirement is for your next quest, and also where it is. So, this is where the level 50 quest is. And also there is stats that you can put into it. 150 stats. You should mainly focus on power, health, and either weapon or melee. Depending on what you're using, if you get the really good and the only fighting style that there is in the game, Ballers, I would suggest putting stats in the melee instead of weapon, because at that point weapon just really is used for teleporting, because there is a teleporting weapon. So, but for now, I'm going to put my stats in a weapon just because it's what I'm using, and you can refund it for 50 gems, and like I said, gems are easy to get, so let's put the stats into weapon and health. Okay, now we can take this quest, and eventually we're gonna have enough to have $1 million, and then once we do, we can talk to this Popcat, which would let us get a quest scroll, which would let us take the quest twice instead of only taking it once and having to go back and forth, and it'll make us 2 times more money and 2 times more XP every time we finish that quest because we did it twice. But for now, we're gonna have to wait till we get $1 million. And I'm gonna jump cut to whenever I finish out this quest. Guys, I completely forgot that if you get if you have a group member, you can get plus 10% money and XP and gems. So I am fixing to do that. So guys, don't forget to also become a group member in this game to get plus 10% of everything. 10% money, 10% XP. It'll be a 1.1 times multiplier. So don't forget to do that, guys. Alright guys, we're back. We became a group member, so now we should have 1.1 times everything. So instead of having only 1500, we have 1650 of money and 1650 XP instead of only 1500. So guys, this will make it a whole lot easier to grind and get money in this game if you just become a group member. Now let's finish this main quest. Alright guys, we just finished this quest. Now we should be over here. More endless bandit beating. However, we didn't spend that much time getting here to level 100. It's only been about roughly around 15-20 minutes that you should be at the level 100 mark, just depending on how much time you spend just goofing around or actually spend time bandit beating. Now, I am going to jump cut to whenever I finish this quest. It seems as if I've made a mistake. I tracked the wrong thing. My bad, that is completely on me. Actually, I should be fighting the boss, which I thought that was going to be, but you know, I got fooled whenever I thought I was going over there. Anyway, same thing. I'm just gonna be showing, like I'm gonna be fighting this dude until level 150, which would be that quest over there that I accidentally went to. Anyway, I'll jump cut to whenever I'm there. Guys, I completely forgot to mention that one of the good things about this game is that it tracks everything. With this little profile right here, shows you how much time you spent, how much bounty or fame you've earned, how much luck you have, how much total money you've earned, how much total gems you earned, what's your fighting style, your weapon, your power, how many flopper or teams that you've killed, which is pretty much the amount of players that you killed which were on either team, the flopper or the teams. So, and also what race and also what variant you have it on if you've upgraded to V2 or if you haven't with V1. Yes, the total level is 2,400. Also, there is 3 abilities that we will get throughout the course of this playthrough. Just stay tuned for that whenever I release them. Your inventory, which shows your weapons, your accessories, your power, and your items, which we've only unlocked weapons so far. There is the shop. The shop is very cheap. You could probably unlock everything with only the $1 pass. However, I will not be doing that. I will be unlocking everything with the gems that I've earned. Anyway, let's get back to it. Guys, we've gotten our first accessory, which is the Floppa hat. This accessory, I believe, should get plus 500 health and plus 5% melee damage. Sucks that we're not using melee and that we're using a weapon, but it still gives us the plus 500 health, which is very dandy and handy. It is very goofy. This is a very goofy game, I will not lie. But it is pretty fun. Alright guys, we finished this quest, and now we can go back to mindless bandit beating with single ones instead of bosses. However, there is a catch. This boss right here is easier to defeat, and it gives 11,000 money and 66,000 XP. However, I noticed something during my main play of the game. If we go over to the main quest that we should be at, remember, boss does 11,000, 66,000 XP. We over to the quest that we're supposed to be at, 2,000 money and 49,000 XP. There's no reason why I should be fighting these higher level and harder enemies to fight if it's just gonna give me less money and less XP during the run. Therefore, it is wiser to just fight this boss up until we fight the next boss, which we don't do that until level 250. However, it is a pretty fast time getting there. It took us about what? Around 5 minutes just to get 50 levels. So about one level every 10 minutes. And no, 10 levels every 1 minute. So yeah, I can't do math. All I know is that it's pretty fast. And there is one more thing that we can do, which is race reroll. We can reroll a race. There's 25% chance that you'll be a human, bird, fish, or a rabbit. I suggest being a fish if you're trying to fight the Mean Beast, which is pretty much a sea beast from One Piece. And there are some drops from the Mean Beast that you can get, but we won't talk about that till later or future episodes. Bird gives infinite sky jumps or more sky jumps, and rabbit just makes you faster. And I would suggest getting the rabbit because, you know, bandit beating, getting the enemies, getting the places faster is a lot needed. Unless you're fighting a Mean Beast, in which that case I would suggest becoming a fish. Now, I will reroll my race. Hopefully I get the rabbit, but if I don't, that's fine. Shoot, I cannot reroll my race. I thought it was 25, not 250. I will reroll my race whenever I can. Alright guys, we just made a level 200 new quest, but it's not the boss quest, so we're gonna have to wait for that. However, I think it's about time that I tell y'all what powers are in this game, because I really didn't. All I really said was that you can buy one with cash and buy one with gems. So now, what are powers? Powers are pretty much fruits, like in a One Piece bandit beater, but they call them powers, you know, copyright. And let's just buy 3. Doesn't cost about too much. So barrier spin and invisible. So we pretty much got trash ones. Let's just store these. Not gonna use them because they suck. We're gonna be continue using our weapons. However, if we did get a good fruit, probably would have refunded our stats, and being better about, we would have just had our stats mainly on power, because power is one of the key focuses that you could do instead of, you know, weapon or melee. But we will eventually put stats into 2 different ones, either power or weapon or power and melee, at some point in this playthrough. Not in today's episode, but, you know, throughout this playthrough. Alright guys, we made it to 250. So now, let's finally go to the second boss fight, which I'm pretty sure is the final quest of this island. This means that we are closing into the end of the video, and I will show y'all what the Flaming Katana looks like, and try to spin for more towers if I can, or get the quest scroll so that I can finally get 2 quests instead of 1 at the same time. And I will jump cut to whenever I'm able to do one of those things that I just talked about. My first death out of the whole video, and I'm not surprised that it was because of the Walter Dog. This dude is pretty tough to beat. Alright guys, we got a James Cola, so now we can finally get the Flaming Katana. And I'm gonna show y'all what that looks like. For 1 James Cola, 50,000 Flame Katana. Here's what the Flame Katana looks like. No, pretty mid. Flame Slash. Burning Quad Slash. Pretty decent. But my opinion, still not as good as the Floppa. We're gonna switch back to that. And those are the 2 weapons that you can get in this right here. This island, the Floppa Island. Technically, if you think about it, you get the Popcat or the Cheems, whichever one. It's either Popcat or the Cheems weapon. And technically, if you think about it, you get it here, but you have to go over to the PvP area and go collect it. It's weird, but once we made it over to the PvP area, then and only then will we actually get this Popcat weapon. So okay, we got another thing called the Egg Dodge, and it's actually an accessory. Gives plus 750 health, plus 5% defense, and plus 10% weapon damage. Exactly the best thing that we can get for the first island, because we're using a weapon and we need the defense for the Walter Dog because he absolutely wrecks us. So let's actually finish out this quest, get to level 300, because we're almost there. Only 20 levels left. It's not gonna be that long. Alright guys, it's gonna be our final time fighting the Walter Dog for this video. If you like this type of video or type of content, please like and subscribe. Helps the channel out a lot, helps me out a lot. Hopefully I'll make it big one day, doing stuff like this for you guys. And let's just make sure that this is our last quest of this island, and it is. So with that being said, we'll get the quest scroll in the next episode because we did not get 1,000,000 for this specific video. And if y'all want me to switch over to powers, please let me know in the comments. And with that being said, love y'all a lot, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye bye.